From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your North Coast Neighborhood Forecast.
Everything Medical has been your complete source for medical supplies since 2007. Our 10,000 square foot showroom has the largest selection of home medical equipment in the North State. We have what you need. Everything Medical, Athens Avenue, Reading.
Well, if you live on the coast and you really aren't talking a whole lot probably about a heat wave, if you are, you're just kind of bragging about the fact that it's nice and cool for you and you're glad you live on the cool coast. And if you live inland and the mountains, then of course you're talking about probably the big heat wave that's heading our way. It's been the big talk. It's what people have been talking about even since last week. And it looks like it's still really kind of right on target to be here sometime at the end of this week, and in particular this weekend. There's an excessive heat watch for Trinity County. The big heat arrives this weekend, and we're talking about the potential for some record-breaking heat on top of that. So there it is, Trinity County, of course, everywhere else. Now, you'll notice Modoc and Siskiyou County are not part of this. I think that eventually in the next day or two, and maybe even as early as today, we will start to see that get involved in this as well. So hour by hour for today, yeah, inland about 90, a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. I'm expecting the coast to see temperatures in the low 60s under those mostly cloudy skies. And for Trinity County, of course, a bit warmer, temperatures in the low to maybe some mid 90s. Still looking at those sunny skies here throughout the day today. Let's take a look at that trend, and it's a slow to get here warming trend, right? Because we're looking at temperatures low to mid 90s here for today, tomorrow, and Thursday. In fact, we actually see a slight dip before the temperatures start to climb, and it's going to be a more noticeable increase by Friday, and not to mention going into the weekend. So the heat is mainly coming in from the desert Southwest, and it includes Southern California. Here's what's interesting. Take a look at this excessive heat warning. This is in effect now through 8 p.m. next Monday. So this is a prolonged period of 110 plus degree temperatures. So you're talking about some dangerous heat there. You're not seeing a ton of relief overnight. So we can at least be grateful for the fact that, yes, we are seeing the heat wave. There's that heat going into Thursday of this week, and then it starts to kind of migrate northward. This is when Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's the peak of the heat wave, kind of that 3-day period when we see the hottest temperatures. But as we go into Sunday, Monday, you see how that heat kind of shifts down to the south and east. Now that's significant because number one, it's going to drop our temperatures. But number two, and something that hasn't been talked about a whole lot at this point, but something I kind of noticed over the last few days, is that the positioning of that high pressure system could bring us some monsoon moisture into Northern California. So we're looking at this upcoming Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday really is what we're looking at here. This area of high pressure, that center right there is where the hottest temperatures are. So that's what's going to be over us on Friday and Saturday. But by the time we get to the end of the week, and in particular early next week, that high pressure will be back over the Four Corners region. The clockwise rotation around that high, and there's monsoon moisture this time of the year over the desert Southwest, will transport possibly some of that monsoon moisture over Northern California. Now, that'll do a couple of things. Make it feel more humid for areas that typically feel dry, so obviously not impacting the coast a whole lot, but inland and the mountains. And number two, when you see that monsoon moisture this time of the year kind of come on in, that's when we talk about the potential for thunderstorms. So that could be the case, especially Monday, Tuesday, and maybe even Wednesday of next week. But by around Tuesday, Wednesday, that flow is now kind of breaking away from Northern California, and we're back to the sunny skies and fairly warm conditions. Let's take a look at futurecast here along the coast. We are still seeing some of that fog throughout the day today. I think there'll be some breaks in the clouds for some of us, though, through the afternoon. Then we go into Wednesday morning. We're still seeing that fog along the coast, and it looks like it starts to kind of break up for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday morning, there's the fog coming on back. And yes, we could see a little bit of a break in those clouds even Thursday afternoon. All right, so some of your marine alerts here. There is a small craft advisory through 9 o'clock tonight, but not on the immediate coast. It's southern Humboldt County, where we still have that small craft advisory through 3 p.m. tomorrow. So take a look at the wave heights, and this is today, right? Then we go into tomorrow. You see how the wave heights are actually starting to drop, and that's why that small craft advisory will be allowed to expire for southern Humboldt County by tomorrow afternoon. Your marine forecast, north winds at 5 to 10 knots. Your waves from the northwest at 4 feet at 5 seconds, and from the northwest at 2 feet at about 10 seconds. There's going to be some of that patchy fog and drizzle out there. So here's your forecast for your Tuesday. Temperatures along the coast, no big surprises there, mainly in the low 60s. You don't have to head too far inland and it starts to warm up. About 86 for Garberville, 92 for Willow Creek, and for Trinity County, temperatures in the low to mid 90s, although some of the cooler spots like Trinity Center, typically 87, and even cooler in Ruth with a high of about 82 degrees. So there's your 7-day forecast, and you can see for the coast, low 60s, although it does warm up for Crescent City into the mid 60s by the time we do get into Friday and through the weekend. So yeah, that heat wave will kind of impact the coast, right? Probably even more sunshine too, but it's Hoopa. You're up to 100 degrees by Friday and over 100 by Saturday and Sunday. And how about Weaverville? Yeah, you're talking about 107 on Saturday. That's the peak. In fact, the peak will be over the weekend, and then those temperatures will start to drop after that. Looking at your 7-day forecast for Eureka, we've got low 60s for today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. You know, you get the idea, right? It's just going to continue. Now, it gets a little bit warmer by the weekend, but not by much, and then we're back down to the low 60s by next Monday.